Yes, I'm following the debate on bond notes with a lot of interest, notwithstanding the fact that I am a cabinet member as Minister of Tourism and quite senior by any stretch of imagination, having been there now for 9 years. And well, I can understand what government is trying to achieve in terms of inducing liquidity into the marketplace. But the multiple currency basket already has 9 currencies. Included in there is the rand, which I have always submitted is part of the solution, to the extent that 70% of our exports go into South Africa or via South Africa, 70% of our imports come from South Africa, 80% of our diaspora globally is resident in South Africa, and therefore they have an impact on the profile of remittances into Zimbabwe. So it just makes absolute sense that we align to a regional currency that favors us to that extent. Not only that, but we already have 4 other countries actually using that currency, including Lesotho, Namibia, Swaziland, and so forth. And therefore, it shouldn't be a problem. As long as we don't pose again a collateral liability to South Africa, forcing them to print for Zimbabwe, but making sure that our productivity in itself becomes a strength in terms of strengthening the rand, and vice versa, the South African rand becomes a source of recapitalization of our economy. If we woke up tomorrow with an instruction that our salaries are now in rands, converted at the current rate, it will even compel my industry to start accepting rands without having to negotiate so much. But we then need to fix the value chain going backwards to make sure that all the cost drivers, that include water, energy, salaries, are all denominated in rands as we go along. So I'm a very strong advocate of randization to that extent. And I've already spoken to President Mugabe and the Reserve Bank governor to say that mine is an exclusive situation, special condition, because 70% of my source market is South Africa. They need to be motivated to come and spend in this destination. Unfortunately, right now they are finding Zimbabwe uncompetitive because of the bullish nature of the US dollar against the rand. So what do we need to give them? We need to go rand pricing. But to go rand pricing, we also need to manage our costs down. And that includes the issue of reviewing the national pricing model. So if we went rand tomorrow, for example, our cost drivers would reflect really the cost drivers in Messina. There wouldn't be any need for anyone to scheme price on water, energy, and other input costs to a marginal difference, say, of 5%, because you would need to justify that. And so we need this benchmark, this regional benchmark, from a country that already has source for our costs, source for our input drivers. And that country is South Africa. I'm hoping one day I can have a conversation around that again to submit the imperatives around this debate and see who carries a superior argument going forward.